Here is the most ironic thing about the Galaxy S25 Ultra. The moment it launched, lots of people were calling out Samsung for copying the iPhone's design. But after testing this device, I actually think the S25 Ultra is the closest Samsung has come to convincing me to ditch my iPhone. The 6.9-inch display on the latest Ultra is brighter, the cameras are more versatile and arguably just better. And the S25 Ultra is packed with smarter AI features I wish the iPhone 16 Pro Max had, like the ability to perform multiple actions at once across apps using just your voice. And it's all wrapped up in a design that, while phone-like, is lighter than its main rival. Samsung did cut some corners with the Galaxy S25 Ultra. The S Pen no longer has Bluetooth, and the newly added QI2 charging support forces you to buy a compatible case. No magnets here, but overall the performance, battery life, and AI smarts on the Galaxy S25 Ultra add up to the best Android phone I have tested and possibly the best phone period. The Galaxy S25 Ultra has a release date of February 7 and it still starts at the same yikes-inducing starting price of $1,299 for 256GB of storage. You can upgrade to 512GB for $1,419 or 1TB for $1,659, but while pre-orders are still happening, you can get 512GB for the same price as 256GB and 1TB for usual 512GB price. Samsung is also offering up to $1,200 off, which includes up to $900 in instant trade-in credits and up to $300 in Samsung credits. As they say, haters are gonna hate, but I think some of the criticism around the Galaxy S25 Ultra's design being too iPhone-like is warranted. The sides are flat now, just like the iPhone 16 Pro Max, and the corners are rounded, which means the Samsung digs into your hand less than the Galaxy S24 Ultra. But I actually blame Samsung for not copying the iPhone enough. I am talking about the left and right edges of the design. They are too sharp for my taste and make the phone less comfortable to hold and use. Apple does a better job of beveling these edges so they are smoothed out. The titanium frame feels as sturdy as ever, and the thinner bezels allowed Samsung to increase the screen size slightly from 6.8 to 6.9 inches. I also like the floating camera design on the back. It looks better than the iPhone 16 Pro Max's unsightly patch. Measuring 6.41 by 3.06 by 0.32 inches and weighing 7.69 ounces, the Galaxy S25 Ultra has nearly the same dimensions of the iPhone 16 Pro Max while being noticeably lighter than Apple's 7.99 ounces handset when I was holding both phones. The Galaxy S24 Ultra weighted in at 8.22 ounces while being slightly thicker 0.34 inches. The Galaxy S25 Ultra color options are not exactly wild. There's titanium black, titanium grey, titanium silver blue, and titanium white silver. I tested the silver blue hue and I think it has just enough pop without being too in your face. If you're feeling more adventurous, Samsung.com is also offering online exclusive colors like Jade Green, Jet Black, and Pink Gold. There's two design trade-offs I need to talk about here. One way Samsung cut down on the weight is a notable downgrade to the S25 Ultra that removes the Bluetooth radio from the S Pen. That means you can't perform air gesture like taking photos remotely. Though Samsung says it removed Bluetooth because not enough people were using the feature. The second trade-off is that Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra has half-edged QI2 charging support. I say that because the magnets are not built into the phone itself, so if you want to easily attach to magnetic QI accessories like docks and car mounts, you are going to have to spring for a special case. The Galaxy S25 Ultra's display is the closest to perfect we have tested yet, and that's saying something because the S24 Ultra was freaking good. The size has grown from 6.8 to 6.9 inches thanks to slimmer bezels, and that makes this an even more immersive canvas for movies, games, and more. While watching the trailer for Superman side by side with its predecessor, the Galaxy S25 Ultra's display was a bit more vivid and brighter than the S24 Ultra when viewed outdoors. I then watched the same trailer on the S25 Ultra and iPhone 16 Pro Max indoors, and I'd say they were neck and neck, with the Samsung doing slightly better in darker scenes like those with stars. In our lab testing, the Galaxy S25 Ultra turned in a max brightness of 1860 nits. That doesn't eclipse the insane score the Google Pixel 9 Pro XL turned in 2469 nits, but it does beat the iPhone 16 Pro Max 1553 nits by a fair margin. The Galaxy S25 Ultra also turned in better scores for color saturation, covering 128.1% of sRGB color gamut and 90.8% of DCI-P3 color space. The iPhone 16 Pro Max hit 114% and 80.9% respectively. Samsung even won out in terms of color accuracy with a Delta E score of 0.24, Apple's Flagship scored 0.26. You can get even richer color if you set the Samsung display to vivid mode. The S25 Ultra's screen promises better durability too, though we have not been able to test it. It's made of Corning Gorilla Armor 2, which is designed to provide better drop protection and better scratch resistance. There is always that one feature that you want to show your family and friends when checking out a new phone, and with the Galaxy S25 Ultra, that's cross-app action. With Google Gemini now deeply integrated into Samsung's flagship, you can accomplish multiple things at once using just your voice. For example, I pressed the side button on the S25 Ultra and said look up the date and time of the Oscars, and I added to my calendar and then text it to Mike. The phone then looked up the info and I could see it connecting to Google Workplace to make the addition to my calendar. It then sent the text to my brother with the relevant info. That's pretty impressive, and it shows the potential of agentic AI on your phone. I also asked Google Gemini to look up the top 5 rooftop bars near me in New York City and then output the list to Samsung Notes, making sure to include the phone number and address for each one. Within several seconds, I had my list. Cross-app actions work with Samsung's apps, Google's apps, and third-party apps like WhatsApp and Spotify, and I'd certainly like to see this list expand. Another helpful new AI feature is AI Select, a key part of Samsung's One UI 7 software that can look at the content on your screen and provide contextually relevant suggestions. For example, I could easily turn a portion of a YouTube short video into a GIF with a couple of taps. Note that this feature is different from the popular Circle to Search, which gains new powers with Galaxy S25 Ultra. You still long press the home button to activate Circle to Search, but it can now recognize emails, phone numbers, and URLs on your screen. You just tap and go. Plus, Circle to Search can now recognize sounds or music in things like videos. Personalization is another big theme with Galaxy S25 Ultra and One UI 7, and that comes with two major AI features. The first is Now Brief, which can give you a quick summary to start your day. You will be able to see the latest weather, your upcoming appointments, and the latest news at a glance, as well as suggested Spotify playlist. The idea is that Now Brief will get smarter over time as it learns more about you via what's called the personal data engine. Think of it as a personalized large language model. The Now Brief can also summarize things like the energy score from your Galaxy Watch, as well as show highlight photos from your day out. I'd like to give Now Brief more time to see if it lives up to its actionable insights promises, but at least during my testing, it was a bit too bare bones. The Now Bar is a hand tool that's designed to give you timely info on your lock screen, from sports scores and reminders to timers and directions. It's very similar to live activities on the iPhone, and I like how you can easily flip between multiple alert boxes on your home screen, which are stacked on top of each other like cards. However, I'd like to see Samsung add more partners such as Uber for seeing your rideshare status at a glance, or DoorDash for your delivery updates. The Galaxy S25 Ultra has lots of other AI powers that are worth trying out. With the help of Google Gemini, I can ask about a video I am watching on YouTube and get quick answers to questions. For example, I asked Gemini to summarize the top 25 AI features announced during Unpacked, and the AI analyzed the video and came back with a list. That's pretty amazing. You can also ask questions about any photos on your screen. I pressed the side button and I asked about charts I saw in San Jose and found out that it's the Cathedral Basilica of San Joseph, which is an example of Romanesque revival architecture. So the S25 Ultra can easily be your tour guide. The Galaxy S25 Ultra doesn't offer much in the way of camera hardware changes. The key upgrade involves the ultra-wide sensor, which gets a boost from 12 megapixel on the S24 Ultra to 50 megapixel. This means better detail in your shots as well as the promise of sharper macro photos. Otherwise, you get the same 200 megapixel main sensor, 50 megapixel 5x telephoto, 10 megapixel 3x telephoto, and 12 megapixel front shooter found on Samsung's previous Ultra model. Here are some camera samples of Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra. The Galaxy S25 Ultra is powered by an overclocked version of the Snapdragon 8 Elite chip along with 12GB of RAM, and it's definitely one of the fastest phones we have tested. I flipped between over a dozen open apps, constantly dipping in and out of Chrome, Spotify, Photos and more, and the S25 Ultra remained silky smooth under pressure. The S25 Ultra is also a gaming beast. I enjoyed rock-solid frame rates when playing Diablo Immortal, even with over a dozen enemies on screen. When I unleashed my undead minions on some overgrown spiders while also brandishing my treasure, the gameplay remained fluid. The S25 Ultra beat the iPhone 16 Pro Max in some key benchmarks, but not at all. On Geekbench, which tests a phone's CPU, the S25 Ultra turned in a higher multi-core score but lower single-core score. But when it came to graphic performance, the S25 Ultra blew away the iPhone with a much higher frame rate in 3D Mark Solar Bay Unlimited test. If you are transcoding video too, the Samsung was a good 30 seconds behind Apple in our Adobe Premiere Rush test. Sure, the Galaxy S25 Ultra is an iterative update, but Samsung has made big improvements where it matters most, including introducing AI features that will save you time and make your life easier. The ability to perform actions across multiple apps at once using your voice has the potential to change how we interact with our phones forever. But it's clear that Samsung needs to add more partners both for this AI agent feature and for things like Now Bar. I am less impressed with the Now Brief, and I wish Samsung had included QI2 magnets in the phone itself so you didn't have to buy a case to connect to magnetic accessories. But overall, I really like the Galaxy S25 Ultra. Its AI smarts, vivid display, mostly top-notch cameras, super smooth performance, and long battery life add up to a very impressive flagship, so impressive that I am tempted to switch to Android myself. Thanks for watching, see you in the next one.